Get ready. In about 18 days, Trump on January 20th, 2025 is going to launch crypto. I know we're in the throes of the bull run right now, but with a pro crypto cabinet coming in a looming Bitcoin treasury, I want you to understand at a deep level how impactful this is going to be, not only for the present moment, but over the next 6 years. So in today's video, I'm going to break down just logically what is actually happening. What I hope to do is to pull you to a 30,000 foot overview, pull you out of the tribalism and the separation, which is divide and conquer, and have you look at this from a logical circuit. And on my channel, you'll hear me repeat stuff over and over and over again, because what you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. And when it gets ingrained in your subconscious mind, it becomes an unconscious activity. That's how they get us to look this way when there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. So I'm going to break down a little bit deeper around the Bitcoin strategic reserve. Then we're going to look at a tweet from John Deaton, which he's asking the same question I am. Satoshi, who's Satoshi? Like, let's use some logic here. Okay, we're going to dive into that. Then we're going to look at Ray Dalio, a person I really look up to in finances, is talking about gold and Bitcoin. It's going to be a really powerful video. So on the back end of every video, I share with you exactly what I'm doing. All right, so let's dive right in. So the first one we're going to watch, Good Morning Crypto posted this one right here. And it says Trump will create a national Bitcoin reserve during his administration. Then we're going to go into John Deaton's tweet. We're not going to read the whole tweet. I want you to go to John Deaton's channel, read it, but I'm going to pick apart certain things in it that I agree with him, because my whole thing is logically Satoshi. Like, either they know who Satoshi is or you can't beat it, join it. And I want to believe that they know who Satoshi is. So let's listen to what Anthony, I'm so bad at pronouncing names, Scaramucci. Am I saying that correctly? Here we go.
To get 1 million Bitcoin, right? That was her full bill,
Yeah,
right?
well,
To keep the 200,000. Then
this stuff gets horse traded. So you'll probably have 200 won't get sold. They'll probably buy another 400,000 or 500,000 Bitcoin.
What?
Over the next.
Crazy.
But
You
don't
think
that's
this is
gonna happen?
real?
Crazy.
Senator talk
Let
about
me
it.
tell you why I think it will happen. Okay, Trump wants it to happen.
He does, guys.
He's got the Senate Banking Committee. Tim Scott wants it to happen. He's going to be the chair of the Senate Banking Committee. Basant wants it to happen. If you're telling me there are no Democrats, and I don't believe this because a lot of Democrats voted for the SOB 121 bill. If you looked at the dispersion of vote, it was a bipartisan approval of that bill. And by the way, Ryan, it was if you were 40 or 50, let's say you were below the age of 60, you voted for the bill if you were a Democrat. If you were a fossil like Elizabeth Warren or Sherrod Brown, you voted against it.
Right.
So if you're telling me there are no Democrats that are going to vote for that, then I'll say, okay, then we're not going to get it. But I don't see that. I think Ro Khanna would vote for it. I think there's a lot of Democrats that look at it and say, if Bitcoin is digital gold and we have $600 billion of gold on reserve at our bank, in the Federal Reserve Bank, you're telling me we couldn't put $75 to $100 billion of Bitcoin on reserve?
Okay. So this is where the logical circuit kicks in, okay? Not emotional. So Jerome Powell said, Bitcoin is not a threat to the US dollar. Bitcoin is a threat to gold, okay? If they pull Bitcoin underneath the treasury, it can shrink the balance sheet by 2045 in half. Cynthia Loomis. Do you not think that Trump is not going to do this? And if he does this, every other country is going to rush to pull Bitcoin underneath the treasury. Now, here's the logic about it, right? Either it's going to be the biggest bubble in human history and America is going to go collapsing down, and I'll explain this a little bit deeper after this post right here, or we are making one of the greatest decisions we ever have for our families. And I believe that. I really believe we're making one of the greatest decisions. I'm only speaking about the truth of what I do. So if the ship goes down, I'm going down with the ship. But I don't make decisions based on emotion. I do it based on facts, figures, numbers, logic. I highly recommend you go read John Deaton's full tweet around this. So I resonate with a lot that he's saying. He says a U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve. What about Satoshi? He says, during my run for Senate, I disclosed that I have 80% of my net worth in Bitcoin. RFK also said he has most of his wealth in Bitcoin. Thus, I hope my friend Scaramucci, is correct. If the US government passes Cynthia Lummis' bill and begins buying BTC, it will no doubt cause other nations to follow suit, just like I was saying. Just like with gold, it could literally create, is that what he says? It could literally create nation state FOMO, fear of missing out. And if that occurs, 1 million per BTC happens a lot faster than people think. Okay, now he goes down. This is what I want you guys to see. Okay, but having a USG, United States government actively purchase 500K Bitcoin or 1 million to 5 million BTC is an entirely different ballgame. What would Satoshi's identity, dead or alive, need to come to public knowledge? Okay, this is where logic kicks in. Again, remember, guys, Satoshi, the wealthiest person in Bitcoin. BlackRock, number 2. MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor, number 3. Number 4 is Grayscale, and number 5 is America. So you think the top 4 people don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is? You really believe that? You really think, logically, the largest asset manager in the world, Grayscale, one of the biggest asset managers in the world, MicroStrategy now becoming it's going to become one of the most dominant companies in the world, and America, Trump, working to save America and make America great again. They don't know who Satoshi is? Because what John Deaton's saying here is really important, and that's where it comes into Dan Pena. When you find out who created Bitcoin, this shit's going to zero. Or they're going to get it all set up, and it was always set up since 2009, when Bitcoin's creation, right after the huge financial collapse in America, when we printed more money than in history from 2020 to 2022. BlackRock tells you it's used for money laundering. Then in 2023, he admits it's a flight to quality and now is the number 2 holder through the ETF and also is one of the top 3 holders in MicroStrategies. We have to get the emotion out of this, guys. It's logic, logic, logic. And I remember when I was getting into XRP in the beginning, that's a banker coin. It's centralized. XRP is decentralized. Bitcoin is centralized. It's like the opposite. And so we have to take our emotions out of this completely. That's why I see Bitcoin as a store of value like gold. And I'm going to work to accumulate as much as I can. And my biggest holding is XRP. I'm going to say this again. XRP and Bitcoin will be number 1 and number 2 when all the dust settles, I believe, by 2030. Okay. So who's Satoshi? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know, but I think there's something going on here. Either they know who it is and they created it, or they know who created it, or you can't beat it, join it. But I'm here to tell you on a recorded video that it is your new monetary system. That things like XRP, XLM, HBAR, QNT, these are new infrastructures of your financial system. Okay. More news. Just in, 1.5 trillion Morgan Stanley E-Trade is exploring adding Bitcoin and crypto trading to its platform. New Turkey leading bank, BBVA, set to offer Bitcoin and crypto trading services. One of my greatest people that I looked up to in the financial space, Ray Dalio, invest in gold and Bitcoin rather than debt assets. Billionaire investor Ray Dalio, founder of the world's largest hedge fund, Bridgewater Associates, said he would invest in hard money like gold and Bitcoin while avoiding debt assets. I mean, here we are, guys. Here we are. Just speaking logic, right? Speaking logic, no emotion, be stoic. So when I got into this asset class in 2020, and I went through the bull run from 2020 to 2022, I was like, this is completely unnatural to make this much money in a short amount of time, right? So my logical circuit kicked in and I started to really study at a deep level how money moves through the system. Okay. And I started to realize that, wow, man, where on earth, for example, my XRP has gone up. Let me just check real quick. Let's just take a look here. Since I started accumulating XRP, my overall, is that my overall right here? My total value has gone up 577%. Where in the planet can you make 577% of your money? Now, here's why. Because it's extremely volatile still. So in the long term, you're very, very early. Okay. In the short term, there's a lot of volatility. As regulation comes in, it's going to suck it out. We know that crypto's here to stay. We know that Trump's going to make America the crypto capital of the world. We know that over the next 12 months, we're going to have a massive bull run. Okay. Here's the thing. Take your emotions out of this. Bull run number one, some of you are going to get caught at the top. Okay. Some of you are still sitting on the sidelines. That's fine. You get in when you fit in, you get in when it feels right. If you get caught at the top and you buy because you FOMO in, fear of missing out, and you rush into XRP at $7 or $5, in the short term, you might be late. In the long term, you just bought the bottom. I buy XRP and Bitcoin every single day. And I have many other assets outside of XRP and Bitcoin. I'm a very logical, very non-emotional, and very strategic person with my investments. Rule number one, don't lose money. Rule number two, follow rule number one. Okay. We're going into after January 20th. It's, it's pumping right now. I believe January 20th, February, March, April, May. Remember, sell in May, go away. The markets will cool off, and then we'll come back in September. We'll have a blow off top probably back end of 2025. And then if it follows the same cycle, we may have a super cycle. It should collapse in 2026. Then you have 2026, 2027, 2028. It'll go Bitcoin halving, then it'll go back up on the back end of 2028, and you'll get to experience your bull run number two, which is your wealth. Bull run number one is learning. Some of you may make some money in this market, okay? The thing that I always recommend, and we've got over 10,000 people worldwide since 2020 that we've helped and coached through this, through education, is there is no get rich quick. If you want to get rich quick, go to the casino. If you want to get a lottery ticket, go to the lottery ticket and get a gas station. Going after chasing pumps and dumps and meme coins, it creates a dopamine in your brain. It doesn't work. You might hit a big one, but your brain thinks you can do it again. Okay. Create a fundamental long-term strategy. Okay. Diversify inside and outside of cryptocurrency. So here's exactly how my ecosystem is set up. Bitcoin, I'm holding forever. I am not selling it. If you watched my video yesterday, of course, I wasn't recommending those products, but for example, there's companies that you can actually get. You won't even have to go to a lender anymore. You are the bank. You could take your Bitcoin, say, I want to buy a $2 million home. I could go take my Bitcoin and I could literally get a loan in minutes off my own Bitcoin. And I'm not paying Wells Fargo back. I'm paying myself back. And they're just charging me interest to lend money off of my asset. And I go buy the home. I don't have to wait 90 days, closing. Everything is done. Boom. I buy the house. I get the house that I want. And everybody else is going through the traditional markets and trying to get the lender and this and that. And it's like, boom, you got your money. You walk in, you buy the house cash. And remember, it's tax-free because you're borrowing against your assets. So Bitcoin is like a store of value. It's like a bank for my family. I'm accumulating every single day. Altcoins, all other cryptocurrencies, to include my XRP, I'm holding 50% long-term. Now, why? Why would I exit 50%? I don't recommend you exit if you don't have a plan for your money. Why would you exit into the fiat, into the US dollar? It's a 3% purchasing power. But I think in my paradigm, it's foolish to not be diversified. Okay. We have a financial services company. I meet with a lot of wealthy clients. There's not one wealthy client I've met with that is not somewhat diversified outside of an asset class. It's dangerous to not be diversified because what if all this collapse? What else do you have? Right? So I pull 50%, I pull it down the risk pyramid. I use cash value life insurance. So now I have Bitcoin on this side that is like a bank that I can borrow against in the future. Then I have my cash value life insurance policies. My principal is guaranteed, locked in. Got a death benefit, got living benefits, and I can borrow against myself just like the bank. I can multiply my money and my family is secure. Okay. I don't play games with my money. From there, I start to say, okay, let's go a little bit higher risk. Well, I got silver. That's not high risk. And then I'm doing a dividend ETF strategy that's paying me dividends, but I'm de-risking from those back into XRP and Bitcoin. We're going to get more real estate for tax liabilities, and we're diversified in business as well. So the goal is with the bull run is to get assets to pay for our debts and non-negotiables, and all earned income will go back into assets and richest men in Babylon. Keep multiplying it. That's how you build wealth. Okay. When you want something, you put it on a vision board, and you do not buy that until your assets can pay for it. Your family should be secure. Debts should be paid off. Family should be secure. Your family should be literally locked and loaded before you start buying Lambos and houses and popping bottles and doing all that stuff. Get your family locked in. Get your debts paid off. Get some assets that are generating cash flow. That's freedom. That's freedom. Virtue before pleasure, 100% of the time. Write that down. Virtue before pleasure, 100% of the time. If you're the head of the household, there's no better pleasure than looking out in your ecosystem and seeing everybody taken care of. That's freedom. That's what we're here for. That's what we need to get back. Freedom of time, freedom of choice. We no longer trade time for money. We're going to use this money to free up time. But it's going to take discipline. It's going to take consistency. It's going to take hard work. It's going to take dedication. But if you lock and load, Raul Paul says it the best. You have 6 years, don't fuck this up. But if you lock and load and you get discipline and you go virtue over pleasure, you start to change your frame of mind, you will see that your life will be completely different 2030 and beyond. You're either going to be a consumer of all this or you're going to be the investor of it. There's going to be no middle ground. So I love you guys very, very much. Let's keep it logical. Let's keep it non-emotional. Let's keep it not tribal. For me, it's God, family, protect my ecosystem at all costs. And I stay out of other men and women's business. None of my business. Too busy. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, warriors, let's get your shit together. Huge warning. I will never proactively DM you. Those are all scammers. Red alert. I'm not talking to you on WhatsApp, not on Telegram, not on Instagram. I'll never proactively DM you. We do not invest people's crypto. We do not have a trading platform. Don't send anybody money pretending to be us ever, ever, ever. Okay. What we do have for you is the first one is a needs assessment. That's in the bio down here and my bio on social media. People DM me all the time about how I use cash value life insurance. I have team members in all 50 states and Canada that can do a retirement strategy for you. Okay. It's based around securing your money and securing your family with insurance. Okay. I have a whole team, 50 states. We're staffing up. We can help you with that. They'll text you, call you, email. It's a free consultation. You'll never send them money directly. So if anybody asks you to send them money directly, it's not us. The other one is my 120-day challenge. You'll see it in here, and you'll see it says Coach JV in my bio academy. I've helped 10,000 people worldwide get their shit together. Blinders on, man. Blinders on the next 4 months. 120-day challenge takes you through 4 months, budgeting, subconscious mind programming, goal setting, vision creation, community calls, live calls, education. Get in the vibe, get in the tribe, and let's kick some ass together. This is our year, 2025 year. 2025 is the greatest year of human history. I love you guys. Talk to you soon.